Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of BrickFeed. I'm your host, Sakota.
I'm Mesa.
I'm EXX Trooper.
And I'm Josh.
And today we're going to talk about the latest announcements for LEGO Star Wars and some of the other summer sets that have been announced for a while. How is everyone doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, because this is actually one of those times where where like usually when like these LEGO Star Wars and like system stuff set comes out, we talk about them ages after the announcement. But this one we actually hit some stuff that we haven't. Yeah, we did some stuff that we haven't talked before as well. As so it's gonna be good.
I'm very excited for some of these, so I'm very happy to talk about them.
I'm celebrating the LEGO Star Wars news by building Lego Mario, as people do.
Which one are you building?
I'm working on the dry Bowser Castle at the moment.
Nice.
Because as of 2 days ago, I finally got access to the app, so I can start building them. Reviews at this rate probably coming mid-August, but they'll come at some point.
Nice. So with that first plug for the reviews out of the way, I should probably just do all the plugs now. We're Keep the Peace. If you want to see more of us, you can subscribe, of course, here on our YouTube and give the video a like. It really helps. If you want to support us even more, we have a Patreon on patreon.com/the channel. You can follow us on Twitter for live stream announcement on twitter.com/the channel. And if you want to discuss all things LEGO, you can go to boards.ttvchannel.com and keep the discussion going. And I think with all that out of the way, I think we can just get into the sets for today, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
I'm
got
so
a lot
hyped.
of good sets. So
Okay, the first one we have today is one that has sparked a lot of discussion already. It's set number 75371 Chewbacca. Goes for $199 $209.99 euros and 179.99 pounds. Has 2,139 pieces. Comes out September 1st and it's up for pre-order right now.
So right away, I want to say I think I can put this in a couple words here. So this, as a LEGO set, not that exciting, but as a sculpture made out of LEGO, pretty good, but still looks a bit spooky.
I can agree with that.
I have a bold statement about this set.
Let's go.
Let's hear it. I think it's really awesome, and anyone who doesn't like it is lame and hates fun and probably got bullied as a child.
Okay,
What is so awesome about this set, Mesa? Can you enlighten the audience?
It looks basically perfect to how Chewbacca would look. That's how it's so good about it. A lot of people said this looks weird, this looks creepy, this looks unnerving. It looks like Chewbacca.
I'm gonna say this.
Like a furry guy with a crossbow. You put this up next to Chewbacca, that's nigh identical. That's a dead ringer.
Okay, so there's a lot of hate for this set out there. My personal opinion is, like, for the scale this is at, and for the pieces that are currently available in LEGO's parts catalog, this is probably as good as you can get. That's my take on this. Where I can kind of like understand some of the criticisms is like, who's gonna buy a $200 buildable big Chewbacca? Because
I don't know who's gonna buy an $800 18th re-release of a Millennium Falcon.
True.
The market is weird.
Yeah. So I
a Star Wars fan mess.
It's not something I'd buy because it's like, I'm not as big of a fan of Chewbacca to like drop $200 on a big brick-built Chewbacca, but like, if you are, this is a great set, right? And I feel like build-wise, this is like near as good as you can get.
The amount of detail on this thing, I just really appreciate.
Yes.
What they're able to get with the texturing of the fur, the multiple different shades of brown, how everything like interslopes with each other. It has a really like cool texture to it. If I had money and relative interest in Star Wars, I would buy this over any other Star Wars set that exists. Now, I admit I may be a little bit biased just because I'm more of a figure guy than a ship guy, but I see this and I'm like, okay, they're trying something different. They're mixing it up a little bit. Is it everybody's cup of tea? Maybe not, but I think as far as their attempts go, I can see Lego doing a lot of stuff with Star Wars nowadays that, I mean, people like me who aren't super into the theme have clowned on it for over a decade for just being gray spaceships. I would be hypocritical if I didn't praise them when they did stuff other than gray spaceships. Now we got dioramas, we got articulated figures, we got sculptures, we even got non-gray spaceships. We're living good. We're in a good era.
Some good food. I will say guaranteed 100% that I will say this thing looks better than the previous construction figure iteration of Chewbacca. That is all I will say.
That's fair. That's not saying much.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, but that is a statement that you can quote me on.
That Chewbacca was monstrous.
Meso, you changed my mind on this. I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like, this isn't really for me. But yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. It looks like a brittle nightmare in the future, but that's the future.
I'm not gonna lie and be like, it doesn't look weird. Of course it looks weird. It's a furry monster with a crossbow. Like it's accurate,
Yeah.
Also, it looks like it has a printed UCS plaque, which they announced a while back they want to switch over to, and it's very nice to see.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool.
What do you think about the price?
I think it's more than fair.
I think it costs money.
But
2,139 pieces, 210
euros,
$200. I think it's fair. It looks
Sure.
pretty big from all the lifestyle photos. So
Has a lot of very small pieces as well with all those
for the fur detail.
Yeah.
There is one thing I want to discuss with this set, and I'm calling it #MixelJointGate. So, in some of the lifestyle photos, we can see the back of the figure and the bandolier that's attached to Chewbacca's waist. And in this picture, if you enhance, you can see what appears to be brown mixel joints, both a socket and a ball joint, which would be big news if true, considering Lego has said in the past it's literally impossible.
Apparently it's not true. There are other pictures where it's gray. I think it's like only this one that where it is like that, and it would make no sense for them to be like recolored for this, right?
There was a 360-degree turnaround render, and in that render you can see it in gray.
Yeah.
I have not seen any other lifestyle photos that are showing it as gray, and this might be me just being ignorant of how Lego works. Typically, I would imagine the render would be the thing that would have the error, and the lifestyle photo not, considering it's just a picture of the set.
Well,
but what do I know?
I would assume that it's like recoloring the mixel joints after all these years into dark brown on a piece where it's not really needed in dark brown would be the error, because that's like seems more unlikely.
I mean, listen, I've been in team. It's not actually impossible to do. They just haven't figured out a way to do it yet for many years, and I'm just waiting for the moment where they're suddenly like, "Oh, we can do it now."
There are competitors that do it. From what
for years.
From what we heard, it's like they would need a new mold because of like how accurate the dimensions have to be, and that changes by coloration of the plastic. But they could do it if they invested that money.
For years, I've been like, the challenges, it's all about either financial investment in the case of molds or creative engineering in the case of like build solutions. For years, we had the knee discourse, and I was like, oh, mechs can't have knees if they're past a certain size. Just can't happen. Stability concerns. All it took was Neek to find a way to do it, and then now every big mech basically has knees. Not everyone, but most of
a lot of them. Yeah.
So
yeah, but you have to understand though that the most of like the knee stuff is like not concerned in terms of like stability and anything. It's in terms of like their play testing and how
that's
it's
why
react
it's
to
usually like the mechs for
it's at an angle,
higher
it has
age
like a
ranges.
stopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say at some point though that Neek has elevated. Yeah, he has elevated the Lego mech game considerably, and also one of the biggest thing for mechs as well is the joints that was introduced with the Optimus Prime figure that we see now, that we see just being used for waist articulation in a dark green Kutango. Like we are eating well in the robot world because of this guy. Give him an entire theme. Make him reboot
I mean,
Exo
that
Force.
theme is
I
just
don't care.
Ninjago,
Please.
right? We get 1 or 2 good mechs a wave.
I don't know. Neek Bionicle. Sorry,
I don't know. Well, Sakota, it's kind of been like, like burger and pizza are both good. Like I would love to have the choice between both every time I go to the
True, but
restaurant.
how many mechs a year are you gonna buy?
All of them that are good.
Okay.
And the ones that I only like some of them, I will bricklink the parts so that I can make my own, because this is Lego and we're building stuff.
If there are any photos that I've missed of lifestyle photos that have the gray mixel joints visible, please let me know. I'm curious to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I heard online that it's fake, but that I have no reliable source for it. But I tend to believe it because, like, why change it now for Chewbacca?
What do you mean it's fake?
Like, people have been saying that picture like is an error.
Well, it perhaps is an error. I just don't know. Like fake is a different connotation. Like I've gotten the press kit. I'm on the land. It's in the press kit.
Yeah,
but it could be a mistake.
I mean, like that picture's the mistake, not the other ones, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly possible. Also, I will say this: mostly, this figure is static, because of course it is. But the shoulders, and actually, I'm looking at the press kit right now. There's a lot of joints on this set. Behold, because look at this. Posing a Patreon chat. This is the internal skeleton. This is a construction figure.
Yeah, but they're like limited.
Mark my way.
They're probably limited in a way where it's just like to achieve the pose, right? You can't really.
Still has
pose
a neck. It counts.
Yeah, I mean, it might have a neck, but can you actually move it?
Oh no.
You know what I mean? I think it's probably just to get him like in that kind of angled pose.
I respect the points you make.
But we will see once people have it in hand.
I mean, I doubt he could support any kind of posing whatsoever, but if he can move literally just by technicality, I will never stop being annoying and calling him a construction figure. This really is Construction's last hope for profitability. $200 sculptures that can barely move. It's gonna print money. Just you wait. Can we get like human sculptures now? Can we get the $200?
No.
I guess maybe we'll see with the other sets. I'm really well fed on Chewbacca statue discussion at this point.
That's fine.
All right,
and there's a lot of sets I genuinely want to talk about.
Then let's move on to the next one, which I'm very excited about. It's set number 75362. Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi Shuttle. Goes for $79.99 in dollars, 599 pieces. Comes out September 1st. Comes with Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, Professor Hu Young, and Marok.
Based.
This looks great.
I'm very excited for this one.
It's been back and forth the last couple of years with Star Wars playing with scale. With starships, they've I think some of the best things we've gotten out of it is like the Boba Fett starship that we got from Mandalorian. It was kind of like a little big by a bigger version than the one from Cloud City, and this one is also as well. Instead of the cockpit being 6 studs wide is 4 studs wide. I remember seeing this ship being in a Clone Wars set at some point, really
the
way
old
back.
one was
Yeah,
in the
and
Clone
this
Wars.
looks so much better, and it's really like one of those where you can see like all the parts we have now, like all the curved slopes and everything to like get so much better shaping. And this also has like some refreshing, nice colors on it, and the minifigures. Like I'm not familiar with that show. I don't think it's out yet, but
it's not
figures
out
look
yet,
cool.
But
Figures look cool, and ship looks cool. So from first eye viewing, pretty good set.
Can it spin?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can basically rotate that like the 2 wings up.
So
yeah, it becomes like a fish when it flies, basically.
So my favorite thing about it is that the wings are double-sided, so there's studs on both sides. There's no
I didn't even think about that. That's so true.
Are you sure though?
Yeah, because if you look at the picture that Mesu just sent, that's the right side of the ship, and most of the pictures are of the left side of the ship.
Are you sure though? Because when you look,
look up. Oh no! I was wrong.
Studs.
I was wrong. No.
If you look under there, there's anti-studs.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry for ruining the illusion.
I thought when I
no, this looks good though, and like the jet department here also looks. I really like when it's like a lot more intricate, like they've done the last couple years, and instead of it just being like huge like wheels that kind of look out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did definitely shrink it. I think like the little transparent 2x2 dome piece in the back, that's probably like a gunner turret, right? In the in-universe thing where someone would sit in, I assume.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell like how much smaller it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like the cockpit on the Gideon's shuttle, you know?
Yeah.
That's just like a handle and everything.
But I don't necessarily mind too much.
I don't mind either, because like the things like not a lot of people think about that much when there's like an ATT or like an ATST walker or an AT8. Like all those things are just, they look believable in terms of like how big they are, but like pretty much like none of the play scale tests, they're not compared in size to each other. So it's something that's great.
Scale is something people talk about. That's like with
it's
Star
so
Wars
varied.
Specifically, yeah, it varies a lot.
Yeah, and it has like no consistency. Like the sometimes some things stick out, like the AAT tanks they made with like those really chunky like curved pieces, and it didn't look that well. And then the MTT that they made, because the one MTT that they made that was really good was just too good, and they never made anything close to it. But this one, honestly, like it looks believable as the ship. So yeah, I'm all for it.
It seems like it can only fit like one minifigure in the cockpit, and that there's like no interior, which I think is a bit sad. Would be cool if you'd be at least like able to fit more figures into the ship.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it does have a really funky function though.
Yeah,
so it's probably like
that probably makes it harder.
Needs a lot of Technic skeleton to like be very stable to swoosh around as well as perform that function well.
Yeah, also like 80% of it is wing too, so
yeah,
that adds a lot to the size of it.
Of course, you couldn't put anyone in there. Yeah,
this is good set. Good set. And
if I had to say, this would be one of my favorite Star Wars.
So this
how so? Is it because cool color or nice
cool
shape?
Color and shape,
and the minifigure selection.
Okay, can we talk about the minifigures real quick? I'm very excited about those two.
I don't know who any of them are besides Ahsoka.
I mean, you know Ahsoka, right?
I like the older Ahsoka more. I don't like the new chest piece. It's more accurate, but I like the older one more.
Here's my total exposure to what I would consider TV Star Wars. I watched the original Clone Wars. I never watched the 3D Clone Wars. I never watched Rebels. I've seen the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, so I know Ahsoka from the Mandalorian.
Wow. Okay, you're missing.
You know that was it the Cartoon Network cartoon that you saw? Yeah, that was the best thing. That's best stuff. Good taste.
Okay, so
good.
Ahsoka, the new Ahsoka minifigure, I think is great. I mean, I like the new Leku piece. I think it's a lot more accurate to how she looks in the live action version and even in the animated version than the long one they used for the last couple of sets. And also arm printing, which I'm very happy about.
It is more better, but I just really like the old one. I think I just like Shakti more honestly than Ahsoka.
Fair. I'm very excited to get Sabine with her like style of like the Rebels epilogue scene. And I think the face print also matches the live action actress very well. I'm very excited about Hu Yang. I like that droid design a lot.
Oh yeah, because I've remembered that face, seeing them a lot throughout Clone Wars. So it's really
he was
nice
in like one Clone Wars arc. He's like an ancient lightsaber building droid, and his design is like inspired by the Old Republic droids, which is why I'm very excited.
Yeah, because it looks very familiar. I think it looks really good mold, but in here from the angle, it looks a bit big.
I think his head
looks like it could have been a tiny bit smaller, but it is.
It's like the Lego style. I get it.
But why does Sabine have? Does she have like force powers and stuff? Like,
so
is she a Jedi now? Like, I never watched Rebels.
So it's not in Rebels. She never has force powers.
Okay.
They kind of tease in the Ahsoka trailer that something like that might be going on. And that lightsaber is Ezra's lightsaber. She has that. Yeah.
Who's the bad guy they're fighting? Because he looks cool.
He's an Inquisitor. We don't know anything about him. People are speculating he's like a reveal character.
Messa, do you know what Inquisitor is?
I literally have no clue.
It's former Jedi. It's former Jedi turned to Sith, basically.
But really?
It's former Jedi that like hunt Jedi now.
Yeah.
Oh.
They break their minds and make them work for them to kill other Jedi, basically.
Just because it's relevant and I don't know when it's going to be again, here's my Star Wars knowledge. I only watched Attack of the Clones growing up until people sat me down 2 weeks after Force Awakens came out and watched the whole series. I got spoiled that Yoda died 5 minutes before watching Return of the Jedi, which was funny.
That's not really a big plot twist or anything.
It was just that it happened 5 minutes before that infuriated me. Love it. I watched the sequel movies. I hated basically all of them. Go on, X.
Is Sabine Wren like a rare minifigure? Has she popped up in a lot of sets or not?
No,
I think she was in one, right?
She was. There are two versions of her because, like in Rebels, she changes her design every season. And I think like one of them is more rare than the other, but I'm not. I think all of the Rebels minifigures are pretty expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
I saw Mandalorian. I really liked that. Mandalorian Season 2. Really liked that. Favorite Star Wars content. Watched Book of Boba Fett. Got so mind-numbingly bored on Episode 1, I stopped and never went back, and I have no intention to consume any Star Wars-related media again anytime soon.
Okay, Meso.
That's alright. That sounds alright. Now we know.
I'm gonna give...
Go.
Meso, you should watch Rebels.
Rebels and not Clone Wars.
Meso, listen to me.
I actually think, Meso, you would enjoy Rebels more than Clone Wars. Because while Clone Wars is like great for world building and it's like an analogy series where like the episodes are often unconnected, Rebels has like actual good character arcs.
What were you saying, X?
I did not like Rebels. It is trying to be very, very happy-go-lucky adventure.
That changes a lot from like season 2 and 3 on.
No, but it's still just like, and I can't discuss that because it's spoiler stuff. But
let's give a compliment.
I contradict Sakona's statement basically. I do not want you to
I know
watch
a lot of
Rebels.
people disagree with my Rebels takes. But
that is okay. Let's just get all opinions on deck here.
If I could give a positive kind of compliment, I do like how the Ahsoka live-action show seems to be like a de facto kind of like continuation and merging of like Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, from the
I
trailer,
it's a clever way to do it.
It directly picks up in the epilogue scene from Rebels. So it's like they recreated that scene in live action. It seems like
that is very cool. That is very. What's cooler is if there was be more. Josh, do you have any closing thoughts on the Redfish ship?
I've never seen Rebels. I've only seen a few episodes in the first season, and I couldn't get over the texture of
the animation is not
the characters.
That good looking.
Dude, I am not on here.
I'm not
To
on
me.
here to talk about Rebels.
I learned one thing about Rebels, and it made me never, ever, ever want to watch it.
Okay.
And that one thing I learned, if anyone cares, spoiler in 3, 2, 1, that there's time travel in it.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but that was going to be my biggest argument. But yeah,
they actually do that very well, though.
Let's. Can we talk about other sets, please?
I
Please
want to
not talk about Rebels.
Okay,
I will genuinely leave the podcast if we talk more about Rebels.
You do,
We
you
can
do know,
reference
like,
them in the vacuum of discussion of the sets, but we're not discussing the show of Rebels. This is a Lego channel, okay?
All right.
Okay, but one more thing about this set before we move on. It's 599 pieces and $80.
What?
And I feel it's very hard. So I saw Jangbrick's video about these sets, which I thought was pretty insightful on this, where he said basically like, adjusted to inflation, this is the same price as the old version of this ship. And it has like way more pieces than this old version of this ship, which kind of is like an interesting context to think about.
Newer parts, new molds, new minifigures.
But also it's like, compared to other current Lego sets, it's on the worst end of price per piece, at least.
It's just kind of tough to swallow,
Yeah.
even if that's technically true.
These are non-essential goods, and their value is determined by how much you want.
Based
They're not required for you to survive.
Now, X, I hear that point, but I counter you with in a certain episode of Star Wars Rebels. They do.
Meso, you still want that grilled cheese?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, let's. You'll still get that grilled cheese. I won't hold it hostage, man. Let's just talk about Lego, man. But I think it's not too bad in terms of, if you're looking at it as a fan who watched the show, who's a big fan of Ahsoka, who thought the ship was really, really cool, and they want that a lot, then I don't feel it's the biggest hoop to jump over. But in terms of like, oh, this is a steal, this is like amazing.
Well, Dark Nova in the YouTube chat brings up a good point. Like, wow, it has 100 more 1x1 studs. That's also like, it's very much the modern Lego symptom, because it's smaller than the old one. Like the cockpit is smaller. You can only fit one minifigure. You kind of
and you have more space on your shelf to have more ships. It's better
to get like less
to do it with this scale. As long as it fits a minifigure, I am okay. That's
actually brilliant.
Honestly,
yeah, I like the set a lot. The euro and pound prices are a bit better. I hope I can maybe get a discount, and then I will probably get it.
So
fair enough.
All right, next up, we have set number 75364, New Republic E-Wing versus Shin Hades Starfighter.
Absolute banger of a set. New Star Wars ship that we haven't had before. Revision of a obscure Star Wars E-Wing ship, which we only had once before, and it was with this clone guy.
Did we have the Jack 14?
Yeah, and that one was not. It
wasn't officially an E-Wing, that, right? But it looks like one. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's based on that, and that Star Wars is all designed. Like, you can call it Boba Fett or Slave One. It's still the same ship to me.
Yeah.
But let's look that up. Let's see. Check for E-Wing, because now we can do the whole thing where it's just like, okay, let's look at what they've done in terms of like modern standard here. So this is the old E-Wing, and I really like that ship, but there was never a cool set for it. This is a new version of it, cool color scheme, and it has
like more accurate to like how it.
Yeah,
because the E-Wing was a thing in like Legends, and now they bring it into like canon for the Ahsoka show.
I love when they're they're taking like stuff or like design cues or like old chips or anything, and they're like reintroducing it to like this very rich world that we have with Star Wars. Cool. It's like one of my favorite. Yeah. So this is like I said, very neat colors that like are striking, and then like
Yes, I
the
like the
one
color
ship
scheme a
there,
lot.
red. Yeah, the red ship is a ship that we haven't had before. The E-wing is a ship that we have had before but not perfected. I don't like I really don't like sets where they have. I don't think it's ever good to like make sets honestly with like 2 ships in it, because
Yeah,
always
I
it's
agree.
just yeah. When it's like if there's 2 ships and like a hangar or something, and it's like for a set piece, then yeah. But like
If like
this
one
and
is
like
substantially smaller, I get it.
yeah.
But
This one has 2 bangers in one because I want both of them. So this I honestly have like might get, and by might get I'm probably gonna wait until it's on sale, or like until someone like really wants to buy me something nice for birthday. Like I'm super patient, and it's not gonna be one of those things where I have to do on day one. There's usually only one set of that a year. That set for me this year is the turtle bus from Dreams, because banger. But this one, definitely something that we've had really, really good from Star Wars in a really long while, in all aspects. I love the blue and yellow asteroid droid as well, dude. That just because it's the classic mode, it's like the battle droid, Don't reinvent the wheel. It just works. It's great.
What I want to say about like X's point of having 2 ships in one set, I think for example for this really like Shin's Starfighter is like a one of a kind model, but people might want to have like multiple E-wings and they can't buy them separately. So that's like kind of like why I wish they would split this in 2 sets, but I get like they have price points before they design the sets.
Yeah, I'm for them to split the ships.
I'm for them to split it too.
Yeah, that's the entire thing. I'm just saying that in the event that does happen, then yeah, this one's a good one. But no, I'm always for them always splitting up ships, because army building, and also maybe Timmy only wants the yellow ship. He doesn't care about blue. You never know. What do you think, Meso? It's like color and stuff. Is Meso gone? Meso is probably gone. Josh, what about you? Do you like color?
Right now.
I mean, it's cool. I'm probably not gonna get it. I don't know much about the E-wing.
I just like the design. That's it.
I mean, I like the design.
It's a unique design in Star Wars, and it's in like a neat package. I love smaller and intricate, like medium but super intricate sets is like my favorite.
The E-wing has landing gear that folds in, which is always
great,
especially for like a ship of that size.
For sure. And also, one thing where it's like really sad in the Lego color world here is that I heard like this guy's lightsaber is supposed to be like a really red glowy orange color.
Okay.
And the thing is that the current orange is like not a good match, but the old transparent neon orange, the best color ever introduced into Lego that is no longer with us, would be the best.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think like if it's between red and the current orange, I think red is probably closer to what they have in the trailers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the old neon orange would look nicer. And would make them more distinct too, because they're not like Sith.
Yeah. It's just another thing that like pops up because like there's been so many like colors introduced over the last couple of years where it's like more and more accurate like Star Wars figures and everything, and it's like a fun time where there's like a reverse where it's like a discontinued color would actually be more accurate.
Yeah.
So funny, but still, I'm looking at like other pictures from this thing, and like the landing gear folds up like pretty nicely. The use by bracket pieces there to make like really smooth landing gear in the back there. This looks like a really nice looking clean ship. I'm a big fan of these now.
Looking at more of the pictures, I really like the profile of it. It's really cool. Ooh. Just like looking at the top view of it, I really love that how the wings are like shaped and how it like kind of blends into like the nose of it. It looks really cool, especially like how it like angles down, and it also has that like really cool shape to it. And it looks really neat. And then like the underside too is really cool with the landing gear. I like the way the landing gear is built, especially like with the wings.
Oh yeah.
I use like the stuff on the side, like stuff for like the feet. It's really cool.
I also really like in Shin's fighter how they built like that rounded thing in the front. It's like with like the different slopes. I think.
Oh yeah.
It's like of course it's not perfect, but I feel like that's kind of the Lego charm. And I think
it looks Lego.
I want to see how they built it. It's probably a very interesting building technique in there.
Yeah, and it feels very in terms of design, like a lot of they're odd. Like this looks like it's loosely the ship that it is based on is like loosely based on like some old World War One or Two airplane designs.
Yeah,
You can
a
kind
lot
of
of
see
Star Wars
that.
ships are. But
Yeah, for sure. And like, but this one like sticks out particularly much for me.
Reminds me a bit
In
of the
that
Naboo
regard.
Starfighter.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
but like a lot more color and
Yeah, it
texture.
does. Yeah.
And I kind of
Yeah. Like as soon as you like hear about like the World War One or Two reference thing, then you can like there's sort of like a lot of things to kind of pop up, especially like the two turret thingies that like right in front of the cockpit.
Yeah. I also think like we mentioned this already color wise. I think this like very colorful mix with like yellow, dark red, and then a bit gray. It looks very like old and rusty with the stickers. It has some asymmetry. I think they pull that style of like very used ship off quite well with that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I think these ships have great swooshability, and that's why.
Did he knows the language? That's cool.
I do.
Well,
Nice.
I like the colors. No, in all seriousness, this is a really good set. I like it a lot.
Minifigure wise, real quick, we have Balon Skull, Shin Hati, Morgan Elsbeth, and Captain Porter, and a New Republic astromech.
Balon
really-
Skull, you say?
Yeah.
astromech looks cool. The thing that sticks out for me though is like the hair on the girl in a dress is like
Yes.
a short hair that's kind of like ornamented or like.
That's a new hair piece, right?
That's a hair piece that really sticks out because that's like more stuff that like we haven't got before, like short hair and like I'm not sure if it's like ornament or it's just like in like a specific hairstyle or anything, but it's a very unique hair piece, so that's like cool to get on.
I did think the hair pieces for Shin and Balon don't quite
They're
fit
old.
perfectly. Yeah, they reuse old pieces. I think they're fine if you like work with existing ones, but it would have been nice to get new ones for the two because they're not quite perfect to how the actors look.
Maybe in season 2 of the show.
Is that color new for the Kira hairpiece?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Not sure.
Cool.
That was like the first one that came out with the Han Solo movie with
Yes.
the Game of Thrones girl.
Yes,
Had
that's
that
Kira.
hairpiece. Yeah. Wait, is that her? No, that's not the same. I don't know. Star Wars characters.
No, it's a different character.
Yeah, I know. Alright.
Alright, so we move to the next set.
Yes!
Alright, next up, we have set number 75357, Ghost and Phantom 2. Goes for $159.99 in dollars, €169.99 euros, $149.99 pounds, 1,394 pieces, also September 1st.
So I've never seen Rebels, but I love this set. This set looks so cool.
I've seen Rebels and I love this set.
I haven't seen Rebels and the set's neat.
I missed out on the original one and I really regretted it, and so I'm glad we get another one.
And now you look at Zeb on Bricklink and you cry.
This set is like, I wish I was kind of into Rebels because this is like a lot of the examples that I talked about earlier where I think it's very perfect in terms of the scale because it's scaled to the point where it still has the functions where it needs. You still have a minifigure for the cockpit and the turret. You still even have like a landing thing they're popping out. And then you also in this one don't have a separate set for the extra ship. This is one where like it's integrated, so it works with having two ships in one, and you can also have a minifigure in that one, and you can see everything is substantially scaled down. If you compare the emergency shuttle bay thing, like the gray thing on the sides, basically it is like the docking port is 3 studs wide. It's 3 studs wide. The old version is 4 studs wide, and you substantially, like if you look at that as like a little reference over there, you can see that with this scale they had the shaping a lot better down.
But like the cockpit pieces are the same.
I know. Like, that's why they had the other details scaled down, like I just said, proportionally. Oh, Dakota, let me talk. Yeah, basically it's a good ship, and it's why I said where it keeps the scale to make it recognize what it is, and it still has the functions where like the ship and everything leaving.
Yes.
That is all I would say on this set.
It also has good usable interior where you can like basically take off part of the roof and you have very good access to the interior.
I like this design better than Millennium Falcon. That's how
Oh,
bold
yeah.
I will be.
Well, one thing I really like about the set that just kind of like it's very simple, but something I really like is how the interior connects to the cockpit. Like especially with like the Millennium Falcon, where you have all this usable space, but there's no way to like realistically get to the cockpit. It's just kind of like its own separate thing. I really like how you can take the top off, and then there's just
one
like
big area.
Yeah, you can. It's really cool. And it looks like you can like the gunner, I guess, can like kind of look down and see like the pilot too. So that's like also, it's also sort of connected to the interior, which I really like. I don't know, it's just a little detail, but I like that kind of thing. It's like the same thing when with like a modular, where you have like stairs going. It's like, you don't need to. You can have all these different rooms in a building, but you don't have to. You can simulate minifigures going from like one level to the other, but it's always a really cool detail to like. Have a little bit of extra, stairs or something like that, where they could actually use. It's kind of the same thing here.
Also has a little bit of a function where you can like move one of the turrets from side to side, the one like underneath the cockpit.
That's cool. Does that? I think that activates the stud shooters, right? Or not the stud shooters.
I'm not sure if it does, but it might. Yeah, I don't know.
What does? What pictures? I just have one picture here on the.
Oh wait, I think it does. I think it does because you can. I think you can see the bricks are connected to it, and I think the bricks are like pushed up against the.
Yeah, I actually don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't move it without firing the stud shooters. I mean, you can take
fair.
them out, but yeah.
Pain, agony, even.
Good set, and I really, really love what LEGO've done lately, where even though the scale shouldn't really allow for those details to do anything, like with the greebling on the sides, similar to like greebling they did on Gideon's Star Destroyer and like the small TIE fighters, like they don't make any sense, but like as an overall look, it looks very nice. So here, for example, there's like greebling there besides like the two wings on the sides there, where it's just anti studs of like some specialized double jumper piece and some like 2x1s with like holes in them, and the underside texture like compared to the smooth and like the stud surface the other, then it just like it adds like that sort of like busy mechanical work in there, but it takes very little pieces. Yeah, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like a modern. That's like modern Lego Star Wars for me, is when I see those like upside down jumper pieces, because it's like trying to achieve a lot more detail, and because this is a lot more when I'm talking about scale. With this is like a perfect example of them using those in this scale to get that detail popping up. So
when I see a Star Wars ship, it's very difficult for me to be impressed by vehicles, let alone spaceships. But this one looks really good. I would like to build this. This looks incredibly cool and fun and layered.
These angles look really nice. Like I'm really excited to see like the skeleton here, because they've been really good lately. Because like some things where like some cool Star Wars ships that you buy and you're like you have vision of it in your mind and you pick it up and it's just like kind of hollow and everything. They're really good at like arranging plates now, where there's like very little like gaps.
Good new wedge plates that help.
It's so nice because like everything looks so like as soon as you have like a big gap somewhere, the whole thing looks like very hollow instantly. But like the best example of that is like the new ATT. The new ATT is very expensive. It's actually half price though if you buy it and then sell the Cody minifigure. Just saying. And it is like amazing in terms of like their like it is honestly the best Star Wars walker they've ever made, because it is like completely like it leaves almost like no gaps in any angle, and you don't like if you look for kind of holes through like the Technic frame and anything, it's a staple, honestly. Like if you want to have like a good if you have no idea about Star Wars, you want a walker, get the ATT. If you're wondering how good a walker is, use the ATT as like a measurement, because it is honestly it's good. And this is like I said with angles and everything, this one does that well. And it's just like I don't like Rebels or anything. I have no connection to the ship, but like the shaping here is very satisfying. The detail of like the
Rogue One.
I really, really love Rogue One. I have almost
it's in that movie too, so you can like the
ship
even without
is it?
liking it's in, like the background in one scene.
That's enough, though. That's enough in my mind because it's like, oh no, I have this logic where it's just like, if I want a ship, it needs to be like from a movie where it's just like I have.
It's also in the Rise of Skywalker if you like that one.
Yes.
Let's pump the brakes here for a minute. But I honestly might pick this up now just because it's in the background of Rogue One because I love this design, man. I will get this over Millennium Falcon, man. I just
Hang
quick.
on.
Oh, okay.
So I was gonna go off of the whole like the thing that X was talking about like, you know, the plates and everything, and I wanted to show like a comparison between the Force Awakens Millennium Falcon and the Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah, the Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon is really good.
Yeah, like you can see all of the gaps in the Force Awakens one, and you can see like they fixed that in the Rise of Skywalker one. I had the Rise of Skywalker one. It's actually really good.
A marvel of human
I think that one
engineering.
is even still on shelves, or it was like for a super long time.
It is. I think it's still on shelves. Oh, last time I checked, it was.
I saw it in the store not too long ago. Yeah.
Dude, on it, edge plates fitting together but no gaps. That just it does things. It really does.
Real quick,
But yeah, this is a great example.
The Ghost. We have minifigure wise. We have General Hera Syndulla, Lieutenant Beta, Jason Syndulla, who looks very different than he did in Rebels. First Officer Hawkins and Chopper. And the set. What do you guys think about the price? 1,394 pieces for 170 euros, $160, basically.
I mean, it's a little bad, but what you're gonna do?
It's a bit much, but
this is the same price as the Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon.
I like this set enough to to overlook that.
Yeah, it's a ship we have only seen once before, and it's like this is a very good version of it. So it's just it's from the looking from the fan perspective. If you are a fan of this one ship of Star Wars, then this does feel very much worth.
I feel the detailing in the interior spaces and the overall shaping is enough to like this thing looks dense.
It looks dense, it looks sturdy, and it's like very classic Lego to me, where it's like it's a ship that like and then it drops out like a little smaller ship, like function, play, and everything. It just like there's so many like concepts and everything just fits together perfect on this one. So might be getting this one because it is in Rogue One. So even though I don't like Rebels, there is a way for me to honestly, because like my thing for like Rebels, where it's just like. Because I don't want to have the whole thing where it's just like someone comes in and it's just like, oh, you're a huge fan of Rebels, you have the Ghost, and I'm just like, but now I can just be like, no, it's in Rogue One, and then it's okay. It all works. Bro. No, it's just I don't like to like bring up. I'm not kidding. Like talking about Star Wars is like talking about politics now. Like there's a lot. It is a minefield. Okay, so I honestly just want to avoid. Like I just want to enjoy cool Lego like ships. Without like all the stuff coming like surrounding it with characters.
And today I would like to go on an 8-hour diatribe about why The Last Jedi is terrible.
Let's
anyway, the next set is set number.
Thank you.
75359, the 302nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper Battle Pack, which goes for $199. 108 pieces. Comes out August 1st.
Wow.
1 and 332nd first.
2 points. Okay, no, Josh, do it. I won't forget. Don't worry.
So I'm really biased against this set. Nothing against the set in general. It's just that there were rumors that Captain Rex was going to be in this set.
Oh, really?
And I was really excited for that, and then it turned out that wasn't true. So.
I mean, I think it's actually good that Rex isn't in this set.
I mean,
I want to have a new Rex minifigure, but I feel like in a battle pack you usually don't want the name characters, right?
Well, I don't think that it was a battle pack. I think it was like at the time it was like, oh, Rex is going to be in the Swamp Speeder, and it turned into Clone Trooper battle pack. Yeah, so I think people thought that it was. I think. Because it was $20, I think we knew that it was $20, and then it was a Swamp Speeder. People were like, "It can't be a battle pack," because we're stupid. But yeah, there were a lot of rumors circulating around that Rex would have been in a $20
so unfortunate
Swamp Speeder, and now he's not, and he's in a bigger set. Probably.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah, so
Feels bad.
but I mean the set itself is fine. It's way overpriced, but you know,
I don't
minifigures
like
are
paying $20 for battle packs. I don't know.
cool. Yeah.
I can't get myself to accept that. Maybe it's just like because it's been so long that they were like under $20, and I get that like all Lego got more expensive, but I can't, like, personally that's the limit for me. I can't cross.
So, for me, my opinion isn't really on the set because it's minifigures and a little thing like realistically. My opinion's on the designs. These are some really ugly troopers. Like, what is this? What is this aesthetic?
It's just the like the normal blue clone trooper guys, right? And they paint their helmets in like to celebrate Ahsoka, basically.
It's the last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of cool, I guess. Still looks ugly though, but it's a cool idea. Blue and orange work well together.
So here in the chat, I will show you. This is the old 501st blue pack. So like people like the blue clones because they're a big part of Clone Wars and Darth Vader. And these are like those clones people already like.
But
with the version where they tribute to a character, a lot of people. This is like three layers of fan service.
True.
Yeah. So as like a
nice.
fan, I will play the fan card as well. If like, because I remember when the first battle packs came out, and I remember how cool I thought the Phase 2 clones were. It was within the prequel era, which was still going on. You were still part of that story, and they were like really reminiscent of the Stormtrooper design, and it was just one of the coolest things out there. And if I really wanted those troopers, I do still think that in terms of like how much of the troopers and everything you get throughout all these different packs, this is a lot of bang for your buck in terms of like minifigure quote unquote quality. You know, with printing everywhere, the accessories, in terms of it being like affordable, like inflation, everything. Like these are like one of the lower price thing. It's like the Bottle equivalent of like getting the Toas instead of the Titans, but like this Toa has like the best stuff in it. I don't know. It's an odd comparison I tried in my head. And there's two big ones on here though that I will say. So like one big factor is like the whole thing about like the holes in the helmets that like ruin their profile or not.
I don't have a problem.
That's back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't care about that honestly because like they look good with the accessories and we have like the old version of it. The other one, so it's like those are like the two biggest factors that I've heard people talk about, like Vaughn not being that accurate, and like, and the helmet holes thing is like not related to this set. It's more like the thing as a whole. But I got two of the old 501st battle packs and new ones. I will say that I really like this vehicle because, as I posted in the chat, this is the same like swamp speeder almost type build from the best battle pack ever made. In my opinion, the Kashyyyk Troopers, because
that's not the Old Republic battle pack.
It's the 501st, like the new helmet. Like it's odd with it. No, I don't care about the Old Republic. I care about in terms of like prequel era clothes for my walkers. Yeah, and I really like green. I like the camo and everything. And this one's cheaper. So let's put it that way. If you want that SWAT vehicle, the old one will be $45 used or $75 new, and the new one is $20, and you get new updated figures. And
these aren't neat at all, and like you make very good points. But the only trooper I care about is EXX Trooper.
That's very nice. I will.
When are we gonna get the EXX Trooper battle pack?
Yeah, I will. Well, I will be in the works. I'll like clip this and then save that on my phone so I can listen to this at a dark time. That resonated with me. You're truly a great friend. I will make you another grilled cheese. You're gonna get 3.
Nice.
But the point I'm trying to say, basically, with all this clone talk, is that I really love the Phase 1 clone trooper helmets, and I remembered the ones that came out in the first battle pack. And this is like, despite everything and like the design, the colors, and everything, the helmet holes and everything, this is a accessory capable helmet in a very, very accurate version of the Phase 2 helmet, and you can spin it 360 degrees and access accessories. I think this is a good battle pack. despite everything surrounding it and fanfare
Yes.
and etc. This is what I'm gonna get at.
I will represent the Lego Star Wars community for a second and complain about minor stuff. The Captain Vaughn thing. If you look at his design in the show, he has like some dark red stripes, and his visor has like printing on it, and he has other printing on his helmet, which people are complaining about, of course, because he doesn't have that in the set. I actually think that's a good thing, because you
Army
can take
building?
off the visor and do army building. Yeah.
Uh,
And the second thing is
I
like
also get that visor with Cody too.
these clones never
So-
used the swamp speeder, right?
No,
Because
just
these
to feel
clones
like-
only fight on the Battle of
4
Mandalore, and
episodes,
they don't
yeah.
have the swamp
yeah, but
speeders
the
there.
battle packs have super nonsensical builds most of the
Yes,
time, and
but
if
I
it
mean-
resembles an actual vehicle or something, I put that as like a big plus.
Yeah.
Also, whenever I say army building, by the way, for the record, I mean that as in getting enough troopers to fill all your vehicles or fill a diorama scene, not to put on a bunch of gray base plates in your garage. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up those points. Both of them are not really a major issue in my opinion, but I think people are complaining about them.
People will complain about anything ever if you give them a podium to talk to. So if you're on the
It's
internet, that's going to
true.
happen either way. This is a cool
It's-
set. If you love the troopers in orange, get it.
It's really weird because like these are such specific troopers.
Yeah.
I never expected to get a full battle pack of it. Like I remember when the AAT came out, and it had Ahsoka, and it had like one of these troopers in it, and
Yeah.
I thought that was like, oh, we're gonna get. It's really weird because these guys only existed for like.
Yeah, I
Th-
agree.
th-
Like
this is-
people
this is
really
all-
like them, and people really want these figures. But I'm like, they only appear in like one battle. You're kind of very limited if you want to make a
Yeah.
mock with these, right?
But also like this is technically like a season 7 set, and we've only really had like one other season 7 set, and that was the Ahsoka versus Maul like throne room
I
fight.
mean, you have the Bo-Katan Fang fighter that came with
Uh,
Gar Saxon.
I guess that's true, but that could also technically be like a Mandalorian set. But like, I guess minifigure wise, yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
minifigure wise, it was Clone Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot about that one. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. I really just want a Rex minifigure. like a,
Fair.
and
Just to crash
I-
the
and
Bricklink prices.
exactly,
I'm pretty
yeah.
Josh-
And I hate that they're teasing around him so much.
Josh.
They'll release like so many things, but they won't release like the one that like that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, Josh, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell the future for you right
Yeah.
now. Your Rex minifigure will come, but it will be in the Ultimate Collector's Edition vendor ship.
I know that, which means
Yeah.
the price isn't going to go down at all.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
have to give up your firstborn. So
No, I'm
how
not buying.
much-
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that set.
No. I'm not.
Just
What are
minifigure.
you talking about? This is the same people that I talked to when the a gift would purchase Tahoe. What I'm talking about, I told you, I talked about your Rex minifigure, not the big great Dorito ship. I'm talking about the figure.
Oh, you're
So
right.
you're,
but like,
you're giving up your
it's-
firstborn on BrickLink to get the figure.
no.
That's
but look,
$20.
no, it's not because like it. Okay, look. So Quill, right? In the $600 Razor
I don't
Crest
know what
set.
Kirill is.
Okay, so in Mandalorian season 1, there was a character named Quill. He was an Ugnaught.
Oh,
like,
the blue guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, the
He's not
Ugnaught guy.
blue. He's a small guy.
Um,
I have spoken
Uh,
guy.
Oh, I have spoken guy. Yeah. What about him?
yeah. So I think. Hang on, let me check on BrickLink. I may be wrong, but last time I checked, I want to check before I say something dumb. So the cheapest you can get him is $47, right?
Right.
Ouchie.
And he's
Right.
in that $600
Razor Crest.
$650 Razor Crest set.
Yeah.
He's exclusive to that set.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that a Captain Rex minifigure in another $650 UCS set's going to be any like different.
Oh, not at this point.
I
No,
mean,
not when you try
I
to
think-
order it 2
I
or 3
actually
years
think
after the set is
people-
out.
People want Rex more though than Quill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be
So-
$20. That was more trying to get the point across, but I don't think it's an accurate.
But like he already is.
It's not an accurate comparison because that set has been out for a while. But my point is that there's a better timing for you to not $600. Basically, is what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that it is. You can go on PaintNet, draw something, print it on water slide.
I already bought a custom Rex.
Well then Josh, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I just know that I don't want to talk about Rebels. Is there anything more that we have to talk about this battle pack?
No,
there's
but
no
we can
construction
go
or
to
anything.
the next set. Which
Yes.
is set number 75360, Yoda's Jedi Starfighter.
But it's not Yoda's.
$34.99, 253 pieces.
It's just a ship that he happened to leave on Kashyyyk. It's not actually his starfighter.
No, it's a starfighter he uses in Clone Wars.
Oh, okay. I thought. What is that noise?
So sleepy.
Oh,
I'm
it was you
yawning
yawning.
all of a sudden.
I thought you were like using a voice changer or something.
I thought you were imitating Chewbacca.
Yeah, I thought. I don't know.
Left it on Kashyyyk.
I was like left kind of uneasy.
Sucks.
I was uneasy by that noise. I did not like that.
This set bores me.
I mean,
yeah, this is like honestly me too. Like I have
had a
no
lot
big
of like
connection to
these interceptor type Jedi Starfighters. The
If
Yoda
you
one is
really-
a bit different, of course, but
If you really want Nightmare Fuel Yoda, then this is the one. I still like my good old, sand green Yoda. Like Star Wars. I like him. He's fun.
I like how it looks like R2 is riding his ship like a chariot. It's really funny. He's just really like really out
that's
of the
funny.
ship like really far.
I have nothing else to say. That just I like dark green.
yeah, I don't. I like the colors. I like that they made a different one, but yeah.
This is like the red car in the Ninjago wave, dude. It's
The
there.
set does not remotely look like it's worth $35. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, if you really love Yoda in green, no, I don't think my fan perspective works on this one. I don't think there's a big Yoda Jedi Starfighter.
The box art looks so funny, just seeing Yoda inside. I love that. That's great.
Oh man,
yeah.
I just love I love the back of it. I love I don't know. Just something about R2 just like not fitting in there all the way. Just
yeah,
really funny
it's a bit odd.
Aren't we all?
Okay, then we go on to the next one.
Ooh.
Set number 75365, Yavin 4 Rebel Base for $169.99 for 1,066 pieces.
So remember that thing I said earlier about Star Wars trying new things?
Yeah.
Well, here we go again.
I want to say some things here before we get some stuff in, because I have a very straightforward conclusion on this set.
It's Darth Vader's castle.
No, that is none of the above. Let me talk, Sakota. This is a set that had a tremendous amount of potential, and I think it was almost there. What this set is like, it is halfway through cool collector's item and juniorized is what it suffers from. If the foliage was olive green and they dropped the ship and they put a lot more detail inside, because what they've done with like some more structure stuff with like Star Wars and some of the other licensed themes is that they've had like some good scaling down, and then they've had like the things that stick out, the most like notable like scenes or offices or some places. This thing basically, it tries to do the whole thing where it's like a big like set where you can also like replay some of the scenes with using the set. But it's almost there. And I think what they should have done is that they should have dropped the mini Y-Wing, because I think this is one of those things where they tried to do too much with the set. I wish that they dropped the Y-Wing and the foliage was olive green, and that they had a lot more focus on the interior and everything, because it has functions and everything. They just also wanted this to be like a big ticket item as well, with some exclusive minifigures, some that they haven't made in this style or like that version before. But with that said, with that as a set, That's why I think of it, and I think the Y-wing destroys it. But thinking of the Y-wing in a vacuum,
Yeah, the Y-wing is really cool.
I love it. I love the Y-wing. That's why I wanted to say all that, just because it all makes sense. Because like I love them making these like mini sets. Because like I said, it fits a minifigure. It gets the look above, and I would rather have this in my room than like some. Because like the Star Wars ship, they take up so much space, man. But it's so cute, and it's such a good use of that like newer windshield that we had from Speed Champions. Shout out to Speed Champions for introducing really great snot pieces and windshields. By the way, you guys car guys, please keep getting more and more into Lego. It is helping tremendously in my building fairs. But yeah, Y-wing cute as a button, and like, but like the rest of it, like Meso said, this is. You do see this in Rogue One, just saying. And it's like this is also like a good. Yeah, and we haven't seen like good guy. We have seen like so many Hoth bases and everything, but like this is one of those like the biggest think structure rebel thing that sticks out in the entire original trilogy. So I really feel this thing should have been given like the big playset. You know that big playset they had of Hoth a while ago with like all the big like small things. I really wish they would have go all out. Yeah, I really wish Yavin 4 went all in. Like Yavin 4 could have done amazing stuff.
I think they could still do that in the future. You know what I mean? Like this is a good play set kind of scale version of it.
But think of a Yavin 4 that has a lot of accessories and a working hangar that is big enough for like a tremendous amount of rebel vehicles to fly through.
Think of your wallet.
Yeah, I know. I can go and find Bricklink. That's why I've you'll see I have an ATT on the way where I just look at the 20 pieces that I left. I just have Accelera T9 or Excel. I don't know what English America calls it, but I have that thing that costs $20. I can assure you, Sakota, I am doing anything the cheapest way possible because Bricklink is still existing.
Yeah.
But I want a better set. I want a better set for more cost than like a bad one for an okay cost.
So this set reminds me so much of this set. Like,
which is this set?
This is the Battle of Endor.
Oh, we need a good Endor again, man.
So, like, in terms of like having a playset, a small vehicle, and like a bunch of other little, like smaller builds to go along with it, and a bunch of minifigures, it just reminds me so much of that. I really like this set. My only complaint is that you were talking about the midi scale Y-wing. I don't like how it's not to scale with the smaller X-wing, which I mean I don't really think they can't really do that with this set.
Fit that in there.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's like a little nitpick, but it's not something that like kills it for me. It's just kind of I wish. Yeah, just like like how they did the smaller scale version of the X-wing and the TIE Fighter a while ago.
Yeah.
I really wish they would do one for the Y-wing too that was in that scale, and this one's just a little bit too small to fit in that scale. But I think for this set, it looks really good and to scale and all that.
For sure.
I really like the set. It's really cool.
For me, this set. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, finish up.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I probably once again I probably won't get it because I have a lot of other sets that I want to get this year.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I like it.
For me, this set reminds me a lot of the Darth Vader castle they had a while back. Because that one also was like very much plate-based building, but it's like a play set, and they had a mini version of the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter in that one.
Oh yeah,
you could land in like the hangar. So I feel like that set was very popular. I think so. That's kind of like why this one is the way it is. And I mean, I'm very glad we finally get Yavin. It's like super iconic. It's kind of weird. We've never really got it. At least nothing like I think we got like mini side builds that were supposed to represent like Yavin stuff. But so I'm very happy we finally have it. They have the little watchtower that's super iconic. I think it has like all the stuff you really would want. Like you can recreate the scene with the medals. You have like all of the important really characters from the original trilogy, really. So I think it's like within limitations, it's very good.
Dude, with all that's happening with the Ninjago modulars, the Friend sets, and the Marvel sets, with all the interior on buildings, they've so much parts now, like small parts to like make detail and everything. I would wish so much to get like buildings within the Star Wars universe because we get like the same deal. So like an Endor base or like we've discussed here, like Yavin 4 and all those. Be more than enough Hoth bases forever. We don't need more Hoth bases, but
Lego give
you
me
right?
Dexter's Cantina.
Yeah, well, you know what would be cool?
Yes, please.
Imagine if they did like big modular sets, like Star Wars modular sets, in the same style as like Ninjago City.
Yeah.
It was like multi-layered, but it's like Coruscant, but it's like different scenes from like different places and stuff like that. Like you'd have like the Dexter Jetster's like, cantina or like, bar and all that, and you could have like the
But that's like one small building, but yeah.
I know, but like you'd also just different places from like Star Wars universe, or like I guess from Coruscant in general.
They did.
Like, you could have like the Imperial place, you could have like apartment, just like stuff that's.
I think they did a really good job with the Mos Eisley Cantina, the kind of UCS one, Master Builder series or whatever they call it. I think if that one goes well, maybe they'll do more. But I feel like that's of course like one of the most iconic locations in all of Star Wars. So I get why they did that one.
It would just be cool to have like not like something like based off a particular set or like particular like thing, but just kind of like an amalgamation of like a bunch of different things all put together into like one place. That'd be really neat. You could have like from like everything. You could have like the ISB place from Andor. You could have like the place from Attack of the Clones, like where they crashed the speeder, or like when they're doing the speeder chase with Zam Wessel. Yeah.
Dude, we just need more, like, we need...
Majestic's guy, yeah.
Why can't they make an entire Lego Star Wars line where they just have individual sets for all the pod racers? Because there's so many pod racers they still haven't done either. Those are vehicles I want. They're colorful, they're neat, they feel like...
we only get Sebulba and Anakin, and that's it.
I don't need a 7 Sebulba pod racer, alright? I already... Anyway... a lot of cool stuff. I will still give this, like, no matter what I think about this set, I will give it a major plus for making something within Star Wars that's never been made before. Yeah. So I will still give that a big +1.
Okay, the next 3 sets will. Oh
wait! I never gave my opinion.
Yeah, Meso, give your opinion.
What's your opinion? I want to get to the next ones, so my opinions are short and sweet. Yeah, this looks like a 4+ set.
Yeah, right? Like I said, it's
if I blurred my eyes and I didn't look at the minifigure lineup, it really does just look like a 4+ set.
But think of this myself.
Charging $160 for
the price is too high.
Borderline unconscionable.
Meso, if you looked at this set and all the foliage was olive green, would your head still go to Junar?
I would not remotely care.
Yeah.
I don't care about you care. I'm just saying would the visual cues pick up on whether or not it would still look Junarized. Thank you, Meso. Thank you, Meso. I'm still my point trying to be like
for me it's just how smooth it is. The fact that it has like the exposed studs, but then also has just like totally flat walls of like big rock on the sides. Like it's the illusion of simplicity, even though there are a lot of parts that go into it. It doesn't remotely look like it's worth the cost, but props for the minifigure selection.
For me, it's not so much that it looks like a 4+ set. For me, it's more like it kind of looks like a 2006 Lego set or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I will get the parts to build that Y-Wing though. I will not buy the set, but I just need the cockpit. I have everything else. I will make that Y-Wing because it is cool. I like that scale. Make more stuff in that scale. Make them individual sets. If you can sell the planets with the mini builds, you can sell these. Do it, Lego.
Those are all my thoughts.
All right. The next 3 sets are the new Lego Star Wars mechs. We have
the future of construction.
75368 Darth Vader mech. We have 75369 Boba Fett mech, and we have 75370 Stormtrooper mech. All of them go for $15.99 and have like between 138 and 155 pieces.
So
that's news to me about the prices.
All right, before we mash these potatoes, there's just one thing I want to get out here in terms of like how I look at Lego sets and what they bring to the table. It's basically for me, it's just all parts. Like a cool ATT comes out, that's cool. I have the minifigures that I want. I will just look up on which 3 gray parts I'm missing to make it, and then boom, you have like an ATT for $3. These mechs, I looked at it, I'm just like, it is a very neat parts pack. It was a way to get Boba Fett with full printing without, spending your entire allowance or, being an adept for life, basically. But apart from that, I was going to look at this as just like another of the Marvel thing. The Marvel thing, at least they have a lot of character. They have a lot of color that's split out and everything. And I was, sitting here just, that I was going to mash a lot of potatoes. But then, there's that burning desire inside of me that just like with cool parts, cool recolors, there's just so much you can do. And I just noticed that on the lower legs of this Darth Vader figure, there is recolored Optimus Prime mouse.
Yep. Also, the lightsaber piece is new.
Yeah, lightsaber. It just looks odd. But those parts alone make these figures. I accept that they exist. Is what I'm trying to get at. But if it weren't for that recolor part thing there, then I would just be like, oh yeah, it's nice to get Boba Fett. The new Stormtrooper helmet, though, I will never touch it ever. I will not discuss the last mech because it is its existence is irrelevant. I need to go to. I will have to BRB for a little minute.
Okay.
Right.
I have many, many, many thoughts on these, but I'm going to prelude any of those thoughts by drawing upon what Toe of Plastic is saying in the patron chat. I'm gonna share with you guys, and I'm sorry to drop it on you. Maybe if you could put it in the video, Sakota, if you could.
The back
maybe.
Piece? I have a picture ready for that.
Okay, cool. You know the drill.
I'm prepped.
Of epic Stormtrooper back.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So I've been having an ongoing discussion with LJ, who, despite his hiatus, he still is alive, and he still has opinions on things. So in today's special episode of Knack and Jay with just Knack, LJ is essentially positing that, as cool as it is, the GWP Bionicle style that they did for the Tahu set is not the future of construction, as cool as it is. He posits that things like the larger scale Marvel figures and the smaller scale Marvel mechs are the actual future of construction. And it's the direction LEGO should move forwards with, because these can integrate minifigures. And his evidence is, well, clearly they are doing a bunch of sets in that style. They're investing a lot of budget. They're trying different things. Star Wars is the first expansion of this template, outside, I guess the second one outside of Ninjago and Marvel Superheroes. I think Monkey Kid had one too in one of the sets. So clearly, this is the direction LEGO's going. And I will say, I will only be convinced that this is the future of construction when they don't make me want to rip my eyes out from how ugly they are. And we're not there yet. And I'm not sure we'll ever be. Because while I'm clowning on this, obviously, the back, the exposed plate piece, it looks bad. Yeah, it looks bad. But so does everything else.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't know.
So do the disgustingly wide limbs.
Are you very upset about this back piece, Messer? Like, actually?
I mean, yes and no. I just think it looks stupid. It's not the end of the world.
Ugly, but like all the others also look ugly from the back.
Grim Keeper the Cage monster from Dreams.
And like the Ninjago SCCBS mech are also just like 2 plates from the back, right?
Boba Fett. I'm not specifically bagging on the Stormtrooper. If anything, that reinforces just the point. Yeah. Like this system, in my opinion, this system just ain't it. Like, I believe that they've sacrificed the waist rotation as well for these figures. That's what Plastic was getting at.
Yeah, I mean, the Ninjago ones didn't have that anyway. The Marvel ones, some of them did.
We are going from a point where the original wave of Marvel mechs, the first wave that really that started this whole system, you could say, they were already unpopular. People didn't like them. They thought they looked stupid. I kind of agreed. But we've gone from this, where we had a ton of articulation, waist swivel, knees, arms, decent proportions with the exception of the hands, which looked really like big. But you had like shoulder articulation, you had wrists, you had elbows, all this stuff. And now we've gone to these blocky, static, overly, I guess you could say greebly sets that just have stuff just thrown on the side of the limbs.
I mean,
how wide are these arms on this stormtrooper thing? Are they like 5-6 studs wide?
You mean plates, like height?
Yeah, plates.
Wise?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7.
Am I wrong? 7. Am I wrong to say the arms are wider than the torso?
That's a big boy.
Similar, but
yeah,
that's just dumb.
I never saw the backs of these. I didn't realize that like back piece was all one piece, and also just like looking at the oh man, yeah, the legs on it do not look good. It looks like it just has like giant like barrels just on the sides.
But I can't even be too mean about it because, like, what else are you gonna do with these locked joints?
Yeah.
There's nothing else
I will
to do.
say, like, these are $16, right? The Marvel ones are $15. The Ninjago ones are like around 10. Let's just say that.
Correct.
I think these are definitely like part-wise, you get a lot more substantial builds than the Marvel ones.
I agree.
So I think like price-wise, this is fair.
I
Especially
agree.
with like the hyper detailed minifigures you get for Boba Fett, for example.
You're right.
So I think these are a better value than the Marvel ones. I still think the Ninjago ones are probably a better value because they're like $10.
Like you're absolutely right. I have no opposition to that. Just take value out of the equation for like a second and enter into subjective territory, which will vary from person to person. If given the choice between Zane's power up mech and I don't know, let me just pick a random photo from the Brick Set review. This Boba Fett mech.
Yeah.
To me, the Zane mech looks better.
Well, but
it
to
looks
me,
more
it's like,
visually pleasing.
You can take off pieces from the Boba Fett mech, though, right? You know what I mean? Not like you. It's like if you get more stuff, you can take stuff away.
I guess that's a good way to look at it.
These have
fingers too, for example, which the Ninjago ones don't have.
Zane
but the Ninjago ones also have like wrist articulation.
Zane doesn't have fingers.
He technically does. He can hold a weapon. They're just not articulated fingers.
Yeah, I mean, he has just one clip.
But anyway, so these sets look like whenever they look off-brand, you know. They look like when you like search like Ninjago like off-brand sets and like everyone is like a particular build, but it's just different colors to match like each of the ninja or something like that. Like it just looks like that. It looks like something that you would. I don't know. They just don't. They don't look like Lego to me, and that's just it's weird. It doesn't look like something they would make. It's just.
It's a bit odd of a concept.
I'm not a big fan of these. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I just really don't. I don't know what they're really trying to do with this format. Obviously, Toe of Plastic said, I think the existence of the Star Wars mechs makes it clearer than ever before that the $10 to $16 mechs are meant to give kids a large action figure play experience while still retaining the appeal of a minifig base.
Yeah. Hello? Oh.
Hello?
Meso, oh, you cut out for a sec, but you're back now. Okay. Oh?
Uh-oh.
I can't hear Meso. Josh, I can hear you, though. Okay, yeah, it's Meso.
Oh, no.
I hope...
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was worried it's on my end, because then the stream would probably crash.
That's not... Yeah, that's good.
Josh,
it reminds me...
What do you think of these?
I've already said, they remind me of, like, these.
The...
You know?
Yeah, like, the bootlegs, basically.
Yeah.
What I want to note before we... Like, I like some of the little details they incorporate. For example, for Boba Fett, those two little spikes on his feet. That's something he has, like, in his costume. He has, like, two metal spikes on his feet. So, like, even though it's, like, all of it is, like, very exaggerated, there are, like, fun references and details, I guess. I think Boba Fett one is the coolest. Definitely.
Am I back? Hello?
Yes,
hello?
I
Hello?
can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. TLDR, obviously they're trying to do more playability and stability than complex builds, but on a fundamental level, I reject this SCCBS system with every fiber of my being. I give mad props for the ingenuity of it. I think that it is basically like Neek and everybody who worked on it, they were given a task to like make these parts, and they did it wonderfully. This is no worse or better than the Avmatoran builds of old. Perfectly suitable for play, for kids, for figures like these. But when I have seen what you can have at a similar price point, stuff like the old Marvel mechs, stuff like the GWP Tahu, full articulation, I can never support this.
You can't have the old Marvel mechs in 2023 at that price, though, right? They would be more expensive nowadays. But I agree that like we kind of made a step back in articulation. Yeah.
Why, Josh? Why have you posted fake Lego in the chat?
I was saying this is like what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like them taking just like taking like I was saying it reminds me of like them taking like an off-brand like company taking, you know, something that's like something that doesn't really make sense in like the Star Wars universe. Like there are no like, you know, there are no mechs like this in the Star Wars universe, I guess. Yeah. But just kind of like
I can see it.
I don't know, but then taking like this format and I guess just kind of giving it to a bunch of different characters and stuff. That's just what it reminds me. It doesn't.
The last wave.
Remind me of it doesn't remind me. It doesn't like look like something that Lego would do. I don't know. It's I don't know how to explain it.
The last wave of Marvel mechs that came out with knees and elbows and the mixed joint system was April 2022. That wasn't that long ago.
It's already like didn't have the waist swivel anymore. Yeah.
Why does the Black Panther mech have like a tablet in front of the cockpit?
Because it's like cool Wakandan technology.
They have a print. They have a print for the like the dragon from the movie. That was really nice. They could have used that. But
I mean, for me, if I'm being totally honest, it's only half about articulation. It's also just about looks as well. Yeah. When you have the chonkier limbs, not only do they restrict posability, but it radically changes the kind of armor you have to put on them. For Ninjago, I think they were in the right direction with that. Just do single-piece armors that are form-fitting, they contour over the limbs, and then you can put additional details on top of them. But obviously that doesn't work for every aesthetic. It didn't work for Marvel, it didn't work for Star Wars, but whatever solution they're trying... Yeah. Not for me personally. Not it.
World of Cars Entertainment in the YouTube chat says, if these were like $10.99, these would be really good for army building stormtroopers, or if they do clone troopers in the future, but $15.99. I think I've seen that sentiment a lot. I don't think I don't know why. I don't think this is ever gonna be for army building.
No.
Yeah. And he also says Zane's mech comes with 2 figures, $9.99. Lloyd's Evo mech, $19.99, comes with 2 mechs. Nice looking mechs. And yeah, the Ninjago ones are a way better deal. So yeah. But I think these are not the Marvel ones and Star Wars one are similarly value wise. The Ninjago
I agree.
ones are just way better.
I agree. I actually have to dip out, unfortunately, a little bit earlier than I planned, but I basically said my piece.
I think we can maybe stop and skip the last set since it's just the advent calendar.
If you want to.
On the docket, I think
that's good because I don't want to see the last one because I actually want to get it, so I don't want spoilers.
Yeah, then I think we could just end it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a good episode, good sets, good time.
All right, anyone have
surprisingly
any final
cool
thoughts?
amount of Star Wars sets. I had more positive to say than I thought I would.
Yeah, I like a lot of the Ahsoka sets. I might get some of those. Overall, I'm very happy that it's a lot of variety in these, at least. A lot of interesting discussion too. So, yeah.
Same.
All right, then I thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode of BrickFeed. I hope you had a fun time. I've been your host, Sakota.
Oh, sorry, I mess up.
I'm the extra.
Yeah, I've been Josh.
And thank you all so much for watching.